Hello, welcome to this edition of the Electronic Cafe. Mark and I have interviewed Tiny Magnetic Pets, as you probably know, quite a few times. We're big fans of them. We love those guys dearly. As you know, they're playing on our gig, Electronic Cafe Live Volume 2 next March. Get your tickets while you can. But also Eugene Somers, the drummer of that particular band, has released a solo album, and we've heard it, and my God, how good is it? He's got some great artists on there. Paula Gilmer, obviously the singer of Tiny Magnetic Pets, is on there. We've got Eric Stein and various others, which I'll let Eugene tell you about when you see the interview. But he also managed to get Tim Dorney to do all the production work on it. Obviously Tim from Republica and Tin Gun, top man as well. Puts his magic sort of fairy dust. He did a fantastic job on EMT's album a year or so ago, and he's done exactly the same with this. So we thought we've got to get him on to talk about it. So sit back and enjoy this conversation with Eugene from Tiny Magnetic Pets and the rather wonderful Mr. Tim Dorney.
It's a nice little sanctuary in a car to listen to music. I think it's good. So
I car test everything I'm mixing. Everything I'm mixing until it's been through the van test. It doesn't look like.
When you gaze into her eyes, when you're compromised, when you catch her as she falls, when you ask for more, when you watch her every move, will you see it through?
Welcome everyone to another edition of the Electronic Cafe. Today we have two friends of the EC on for a chat. Firstly, the fantastic Eugene Somers from Tiny Magnetic Pets. We're going to talk about his brilliant new solo album, Sunset Through Ambient Windows, and he's joined by a great friend of ours who's helped him and also happens to be in two cool bands, Republica and Tin Gun. Of course, it could only be the awesome Tim Dorney. Guys, welcome to the Electronic Cafe. It's great to have you here this morning.
Morning,
guys.
guys. Eugene, congrats, mate. The album, I've never done this before. Can we start from the title? What inspired that title? Because it's pretty cool.
To be honest, random stuff that happened, like just chilling one day and, you know, the sun coming through the window, and I said, oh, hang on a minute. And I just, you know, it was atmospheric and it was ambient, and I was listening to music at the time, and I thought, oh, hang on a minute, that'd be a good title, you know. So it was the working title for the track with Paula. Yeah. And inspired her to write the lyrics around it, you know. But yeah, so it was just really that. It was just plain and simple that. But, you know, a moment in time where you know, you're chilling, listening to music, and something pops into your mind, you know?
Yeah, and mate, obviously we know you for being in TMP. So what started the process for you saying, I'm going to do this other project? What was the starting process for that?
Really and truly, it was lockdown. It was 2020.
Yeah.
Like everything. We had... the Pets TMP had lots of plans that year and stuff, and you know, just everything. Like the world went into meltdown, really. To keep myself busy, and like every other musician, I not only were we writing, did we get Blue Wave from it, which is the Pets album in 2020. I started writing songs for myself, right? Because it's a good thing with the Pets is because we all write, and not necessarily, you know, things might be picked up at the time of writing. So I had a collection of songs anyway, or ideas, should I say. And so then I decided, hang on, I'll ask a couple of guys that I used to work with. One was Robbie Stanley, who played bass in previous bands with me, and I just wanted him on board. What a fantastic player he is, and a very talented musician. And so he was my first choice to play bass. Also, he wrote some guitars, and then it just went on from there. Asking singers, and Paula was the first singer, obviously, because I'm in TMP. So that was an obvious choice. Robbie's also in a band called the AC30s, and they do blue beat, ska, reggae, and that's how Kirk got involved because he's the singer of the AC30s. Robbie has another side project also called Celluloid Moths, and Judy sings on Robbie's stuff as well.
Yeah.
So it was all kind of connected, you know. So it was all kind of like friends of friends and stuff, and I got to know them over the course of the 3 years, and it's just been a pleasure.
And it's so dark, but oh so clear, and I look and smile. Now I know I'll never love like this again.
So like, you've been one of the nicest people we know. You probably had no trouble getting friends to guest on it. Eric,
Well, it's
Eric's on there as well, right? Eric Stein, I think you got on there and a couple
Eric, of course, yeah. Eric is on it as well. I asked him to. One is just an anthem, really. Leave a Light on, Brother. It's just 8 minutes of just flow and ebb and flow, and he just did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And the other, Will You, I features also Chris Payne on viola as well, which was fantastic. Like, I just kind of, you know, when you're kind of mailing somebody and you're kind of a bit nervous whether they'd say, one, they have time to do it for you.
Yeah.
Two, that they'd be interested, and, you know, and Chris, pure gent he is, he said yes straight away. He said he's a bit busy, but yeah, he didn't hesitate, like everybody who got involved.
Nice.
So I couldn't be happier, to be honest.
We spoke to Chris a couple of months ago, and it was the same. We approached him, and he was very receptive of chatting to us. And when we had this conversation, we wrapped it up, and he said, "Oh, is that it?" I said, "Oh, I could just sit and chat for hours about with you guys." I mean, he's just he was a really nice guy. A couple of questions. One of our early conversations we had, Eugene, I remember me and you going off, and we was talking about ska, and we was talking about our love for, you know, I remember growing up, before I got into electronic music, I was into like Specials and Madness and Selector and all that stuff. And there's a couple of tracks on here where the bass line is really nicely engineered and produced. Yeah, well done, Tim. But I mean, it's really kind of dubby, kind of nicely sitting in the mix. I mean,
that's Robbie. They're really great to work with, and he's such an inventive player. I love it.
Yeah, because like I said, I was sitting in the car. It sounds really great, and it had these really nice kind of like dubby sort of bass lines. Like Living Spirit, I think was one of them that has this really kind of nice groove to it. And you know, I think it's probably, was that a bit of your ska love bleeding through, or was it just the way that just the way he played?
I'll tell you what that is. That's me for having a love of ska anyway. But Robbie is in, as I said, the AC30s, and check them out. They are ska, blue beats, dub, and it's just Robbie's playing. Robbie's playing is just so, he has a groove, he has a feel. Like Tim said, the tone is how he attacks the bass, for want of a better word, how he plays the bass. His feel on it, it's just Robbie, you know. And he comes actually across with there was only a couple of times where I had to kind of like, you know, do an arrangement, but the goods are there, and like that all the way through for which for Living Spirit was Robbie.
When you're writing songs, Eugene, how do you differentiate between, you know, a song for you, this album, or a song that you would give to TMP to work on? I mean, what's the...
Yeah, well, to be honest with you, I don't know is the answer to that question. Because like, and Sean will say the same thing to you, and Paul will say the same thing to you as well. It's not what I write. It's like I find some sound I like, and then I play with it, and then I come up with a melody, or I usually start with a melody first, and then I do a counter melody, and then I put the beats in afterwards. So I don't actually think about the drums from the start. It's usually a melody. But the answer to that question is I don't really know, because some songs I feel, because the Pets have a sound.
Yeah.
I feel the Pets have a sound, and you know when it's going to be a TMP song.
Yeah.
I feel anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I felt there was something maybe not quite TMP in it that I could look at elsewhere. You know, so just it's something that just happened.
Yeah.
They just just pieced themselves together, really.
Yeah. Tim, how did you get involved, mate?
You just asked me to mix it, basically. He just contacted me over Messenger, said, was I available? And
you were.
Yeah, I was. He caught me at a good time.
Sorry, I heard what Tim did for EMT, and I loved it.
You just beat me to my next question.
you had that on last year's of your top 10.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I just love what Tim does.
Great album. Yeah.
Not only Tim is an absolute gent and a lovely guy, but and I had so much fun actually back and forward with Tim.
He's blushing.
You know, but that's the way it was. But it was great.
Without trying to sound too creepy, Tim, but honestly, as Eugene says, I mean, Mark and I fell in love with the stuff you did on EMT, and you've done the same with this. You obviously got an incredible ear.
And Tin Gun as well. I think
and good speakers.
That's great.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
The seasons don't falter when I'm with you.
Just a quick one, Tim, on you. I mean, I know you've been busy on the festival front. Seen loads of great pictures. Is there any new Republica stuff coming down the pipe?
It is, yeah. We did a video this Wednesday, actually, for New York, which will be coming out in the new year sometime.
Brilliant.
With the album to follow, I think March. So that's
nice.
That's all put to bed and sorted, that one as well.
Very
And I've
good.
also got Flowered Up releases as well next year as well. I've got
wow.
EYK have done a remix of Crackerjack that's coming out on February the 7th, I think. Flowered Up, we've remastered the only album, as it was. That's now been redone. We couldn't find the multi-tracks for it in anyone's archive, so we had to go with the original masters and jazz them up a bit. Then there's a CD2 of all B-sides and remixes. There's a Beyond the Wizard Sleeve remix of Weekender. That's coming out April the 19th, 32 years after Weekender. And a single on the 7th of February, which is a remix of Crackerjack done by Everyone You Know.
Wow.
Which is, it's a good sort of housey, piano-y version.
Nice. Yeah, I love Beyond the Wizard Sleeve as well. He's there at his album about 5-6 years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's the first thing they've done since it was the first thing that Errol and Richard had done together since they did the album.
Yeah.
So
brilliant.
Them back on board.
Eugene, what about on the TMP front? Anything new? I know you're playing next week and
we're writing,
gigging as always.
An EP at the moment, busy doing that as well. So again, we're always busy. So ideas are flowing back and forward. We're kept busy. So there's five tracks in the mix at the moment.
Nice.
And they're sounding pretty good. So yeah, busy. Yeah, which is a good thing.
Can you see me once more? I'm not playing alone. No compromise from you.
Sean's had a solo album this year, and you've had a solo album. What's Paula doing? Is she having some
What's
time
Paula
off?
up to?
We were actually only talking about that last night. Yeah, she might get around to it.
Yeah. Okay.
He's been very cagey there, I think, Mark.
Very diplomatic. He spends so much time singing on other people's songs. Probably hasn't got time, has she?
It's also she's singing on Rusty's album this year as well. So yeah, she's busy in her own right as well, and rightly so.
Yeah, she's great. We hosted the Rusty audience, and audience with Rusty, and she sat next to me and Mark actually and did one of the songs on the new album. Whenever it's coming out, I think probably sometime next year. But yeah, it sounded really good actually.
Yeah, it actually is beautiful, So
yeah. Definitely.
Tim, you messaged us about a month, 6 weeks ago, and said at the same time Eugene did, and said you was working on Eugene's solo album, and you said that you was blown away by how good it was and how it sounded.
Yeah,
you had the benefit of listening to like the raw stems and track by track in isolation. How did it differ from other stuff you worked on, rather than, or did it differ that much?
it turned up in great quality. That's the thing. I mean, you've recorded it all fantastically and uses great sounds. He picks some fantastic synth tones. So it was, I mean, I added a bit of Moog bass on one of the tracks, but apart from that, everything is all Eugene's work. I think I did like that and a rim shot, I think, wasn't it, Eugene?
Yes, the cross stick.
Yeah, the cross stick.
The cross stick, yeah.
But apart from that, it's all Eugene's stuff. It turned up like beautifully recorded and separated. I really didn't have to do much work to it at all. It was more in the mastering, actually, to be honest, just to get it sort of all sounding exactly the same.
I wanted clarity, and Tim brought not only his unique talent, but that clarity to the songs that I thought they needed.
Yeah, I mean, so with the vocals and stuff, I just like that when they're sent over, I always chuck them out through all this stuff over here.
Yeah.
So it all goes out through a proper preamp, into a compressor, into a de-esser, into an EQ.
Nice.
So I re-record the vocals back through with all the outboard processing on it, so I've got that there to work from. And that really helps, I find, because I'm very much about the vocal needs to be front and centre. Everything else sits around it.
Yeah, great.
But the vocal needs to be front, centre, and crystal clear.
Yeah, it is, mate. I mean, it's like I call it your special fairy dust, because like everything I hear, it sounds so pure and perfect. It's great.
It's a lot of expensive Acoustica plugins.
You see that, mate? Just for that gear, just shudders. Bloody hell.
Yeah, showing off again, Tim.
I know, I'm terrible.
There's great separation and in the tracks, and the frequencies sit nicely, and it's a really nice mix and a really nice master. And when does it actually get released, Eugene, so everyone can dive in and purchase it?
It's actually released on my birthday, the 1st of November.
Oh, coming soon.
So it's a debut for me into the world, and a debut for the album coming into the world on the 1st of November. Yeah.
Amazing. And obviously, being so well mastered, you know what I'm going to ask you, don't you? Is it going to come out on
vinyl? It's very expensive for a start.
I know.
I'm going to see, like Tim actually sent over the master vinyl for the masters for vinyl anyway, in case. But I'm going to see. I really have to see how people react to it and how it does.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously it's self-released at the moment.
Sure.
And if anybody picks up on it, well, fingers crossed yet again. So time will tell.
I'm actually going to get, as a little present to you, John, getting 3 copies of the album cut. I've got a friend who does direct lathe cutting. So I've sent him the masters. He's going to get 3 copies of the album. So one for me, one for you, and one for you to do whatever with. So a little competition for fans or something like that.
I thought you were going to say one for Eugene, one for me and Andy. But
I was sitting there for a minute going, surely not.
I'm totally disappointed now.
Make it 4, Tim.
5. Make it 5.
Where you fly, do others fly with you? Or do you go where you cannot be found?
Eugene, you are playing in Copenhagen next week
Yes.
with TMP. Is there much live stuff coming up in the back end of this year?
And we're playing I can't really say, but will be announced very soon.
Okay.
Some gigs at the end of the year.
Call
Okay.
a solo release thing. That's what it is. I'm joking.
That's all it is.
And obviously, you're playing at Electronic Cafe Live number 2
There's some dodgy event that's going on in March.
in March next year.
which we can't wait.
Yeah, that'd be great,
You know,
mate. Great
it's going to be
lineup.
a great day.
Yeah, it's going to be a
Wolfgang,
great night.
You know, Mark, Peter. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. We're watching Mark open up for New Order. It's going to be great. I mean, obviously, the first one that we did was really successful. I know Tim was there. It was a great night, and you know, we're going to bigger venues. A bit scary, but we're kind of we're in now, so we've got to make sure that we get all the tickets sold. But yeah, it's going to be an awesome night, and so glad you guys are part of it. I mean, you've been very
Yeah,
supportive.
me too.
As Tim has from day one. So,
And obviously, Tim, you and Mrs. Dorney are very welcome as guests.
Oh, we'll be there, don't you worry.
We'd like to see you there.
you try and stop him.
Yeah.
He might be on holiday. You never know.
I'll schedule my holidays around it.
Oh, thank you, mate. I'm very honoured.
And also, Tim, Republica are playing in a few weeks' time as well, aren't they, in London?
Yep. 10th of November, we're Chinnery's in Southend, I think. And then 11th of November, London O2 Academy, Islington.
Well, Chinnery's is where I played my last ever gig in Chinnery's.
Saffron played there years ago, then Joy, I think, back in the road.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then Islington the day after, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Which is the one we're going to, right?
Yeah, that's the one. You guys
Yeah.
are sorted for that, no problem.
Thank you. Yeah, I look forward to
And
seeing you there.
are you airing any of the new songs at these shows?
Yeah, it's the same set we've been doing all summer. There's about four of the album tracks
Excellent
in the
stuff.
set at the moment.
Yeah,
There
make
will
me
be
speak-
more next year. When it comes out next year, we're looking at getting a lot more of the newer album into the set. We're changing the drums up and stuff. We're going a bit more hybrid, so there's going to be a bit more of the machines. So Connor will be
wow.
playing drums still, but he's going to be using pads and triggers.
A vapor trail comes creeping across the sky. A silence calls my soul. A breeze that blows me gently home. Just leave a light on, brother.
Solo album from you, Eugene. More TMP stuff. You're obviously very busy, Tim. It's going to be a great year next year, I think.
Eugene, just to touch on it again, absolutely blown away by
Yes.
the album. It sounds phenomenal. You've put together a great album, some great songs. Tim's done some great stuff, putting it all together, putting his sprinkling his fairy dust on it. We can't wait to hear what other people think about it. We're really impressed, but I mean, I don't think it's our bias. It is genuinely a great piece of art.
It's a fabulous album. It really is.
It is.
Yeah. The whole thing's a journey from the beginning to the
it
end. It works. I love the running order of it as well. We spent quite a lot of time on it, didn't we, Huge?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Tinkering with it.
Be honest
the
with
way
you,
it's
it's
played.
perfect. It really is. It's a perfect running order. It flows from start to finish, as the lads always said, as Tim always said, should have said, and it's fantastic. If I just I listened to it myself, and that's a good thing, you know. Once I'm totally happy. Couldn't be happier, you know.
I
you
still
should-
listen to it every couple of days. It's like normally once I'm done with something, I don't hear it until it's
Oh,
released or anything like that. But this one, I just keep sticking on all the time.
Yeah,
It keeps
I'll
me
be putting it on.
grounded today.
Yeah, I'll be putting it on again today, straight off this. I think it is a great album, mate. You should be rightly proud of it. And yeah, we're delighted you come talk to us about it, and we'll do what we can to help you, to help people hear it. So because they need to. I mean, it's a great piece of work.
just mention Judy as well. Like, to be honest with you, what a vocal Judy has, and like one's an 8-minute track, and it's Dreaming Seasons it's called, and just like I sent over the files to Tim, and like it was like 23 sets of vocals, you know, just alone. So
and I sent them back and said, do them again.
But she's amazing.
Well, that's Judy Blue, isn't it?
That's Judy Blue, yeah.
Yeah, stunning voice.
Yeah.
And that's the opening track, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
It's
That's called Fallen. Yeah.
A stunning track, that is, yeah.
Oh, we have fallen, should I say.
Gents, thank you very much for giving up your time this morning.
Thank you very much.
Always a joy to speak to you guys. And Eugene, absolutely love it. Tim, well done, mate.
My pleasure.
Thanks, Tim.
And if I don't see you before, we'll see you in March.
Excellent, mate. I can't wait for that.
Well, likewise, mate. Can't wait to see you there, buddy. It'll be really good.
Thanks guys.
Jen.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a million, guys.
Always good to see you.
See you guys. Bye.
Rub me on your skin, take me from within, subscribe to me, eternity. Skies are turning grey, waiting for the day. Could we still be calm? Rub me on your skin, take me from within, subscribe to me, eternity. Skies are turning grey, waiting. Keeping thoughts locked inside, don't let them out, they'll steal my pride. I whisper to the dark.
So that's it from this particular episode of the EC. Hope you enjoyed our chat with the wonderful Eugene Somers from Tiny Magnetic Pets and Tim Dorney. Gentlemen, always a pleasure. Thanks for coming on the show. Eugene, you should be really proud of this album, mate. It's spectacular. And I hope that everyone out there in EC land grabs a copy of it, because they really should, to make their ears incredibly happy. I've mentioned this before, and I'm going to keep mentioning it. Electronic Cafe Live, Volume 2. March the 16th, 2024 at Club 229. It's going to be absolutely rocking. Get your tickets. Make sure you're there. It's going to be an event. It really is. Take care. See you soon on the next edition of the Electronic Cafe. Bye-bye.